Make sure you're doing all right, mate. All right.
So static stream in general.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if we're even on stream. Are we? Can they hear us at all right now? Ecstatic. Okay. A bit of issues.
Standing ahead.
Okay, gotcha. We are only down for a moment, I guess.
To my point before, I do feel like this map can be very 50-50. It really depends on how you play this attack, and with what we've seen from Army so far, I'm really liking how aggressive and understanding the game they are able to play.
Yeah, they've been honestly just taking fights extremely well as a team. I will say it is a bit concerning seeing that 3K in the last round from Mr. Sky, which is a classic, that hints to a little bit of issues within trading for this team that could rear its head as these rounds go on. But so far, it's not going their way in this. Now, it is their bonus, but it'd be really good to get away with a little bit more damage as well, if not the round itself, as it's left up to Dog Ida and Pugs in this 1v2. Dog Ida has managed to get their hands onto a rifle here, so could potentially cause some extra damage, but with that door being so low, they're scared to try and commit this plant through. As that tap will happen, the door will be busted open, and they want to just take these fights to the defenders right now. However, it will not be given over to them. They'll be shut down with a great double pinch in that trees area. It's going to be a pretty clean round, all things considered, from Pajis.
And with not too much damage gone for Pajis, this is going to be a very interesting round now where both these teams, their economy is quite low. I actually really like Pajis' economy because if they want to, they can also buy into the next round. So Army need to be very careful with their approach here because it did kind of feel like they had some sort of idea of what they wanted to do, but Pajis were just able to lock them down in both the last couple, or not really the last couple rounds, but last round. And so definitely see what doesn't happen. And Revolution, very good jet in this game, can definitely cause a lot of havoc for Army. Against Army.
Yeah, definitely, but this is where it gets to be important. They're gonna see... Sorry, I got a message from a friend and it caught me off guard. We're gonna see how this pans out now that Army have access to these full rifles. Can they still sort of barrel their way through these defense, or is this gonna instead be a bit stronger from Pajis? So far, the attack has been stifled. They haven't been able to make much progress, but as they shift their sights over towards A, it's only two people to hold it off. It is where the Cypher utility is, though, and as that null command is gonna come through, they're gonna try and execute onto Mr. Sky, and that's exactly what they'll do. His head is removed, and the site has been claimed by Army.
Beautiful play there from Ellie with the recon dart, so them able to find that opening pick will set them up really well, especially with this Shayrai flank coming in as well. Actually, never mind, they're going through mid. Definitely a good advantage though for Army in this post plant.
I mean, still could come through mid right now as well. There's still backstab potential as Shmevy Buckets doesn't seem to be aware at all. It could be a massive late round play here from Trees, and as that paranoia comes through, it's just gonna stall out that time more and more. Shmevy Bucket is able to take them out, but the attackers flood out of main, and there's no potential for a defuse. Army go right back to winning ways after their bonus loss.
So far, Army is doing really well.
Yeah.
I just lost my train of thought. Just like that.
Did you start thinking about trains? I usually lose my train of thought when I think about trains.
That is something you would do.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, like you mentioned, Army, they're able to find the opening pick with Ellie going onto the top box with the recon dart. They just totally opens up the round. Oh, we're gonna get some action.
Yeah, it's going to be a really early engagement here inside of mid. Ellie and Revolution exchange blows. Cool Guru will go down, but it is traded back by the defense. So it could start to get a little bit sketchy for Army if a couple of these kills start to stack up. Bugs, though, is just trying to inside a market. The shock darts won't quite find their mark, and everything kind of settles down here in the mid round.
Yeah, I mean, sorry,
He's kind of stuck in a corner right now.
Yeah, they're stuck in a corner. Shmevy Buckets cannot move whatsoever. That's 3 guns right to the face, and Shayrai will also pick one.
Yeah, Revolution is taken out as well. Sing Zoom is able to trade it back, but it's 2v3 for these defenders, and as that spike goes down, it'll be working against the clock. Mr. Sky gets tagged up, but Sing Zoom is there to support and manages to take another head off, but now has to collect even more and can't quite do that, as it's going to be RME not going down to the eco.
But the HP was so low. Sing Zoom had the opportunity there. It looked so close. If they're able to land a bit more headshots or just maybe more some body shots in general, that was definitely a lot more scary for Army. But they will pair up the 4-1. They're gonna force this Pajis team naturally force here. So, I mean, they do have the money, but their economy is looking quite low. And we need to see something here from Cool Guru. We've seen them do a lot better in the past, but a very slow start to this game is definitely hurting Pajis at the moment.
Yeah, they need to start stringing some stuff together, especially with how momentum-based Aurora can be. We've seen them be able to really pick up their pace if they're given enough space and confidence to work with, and that's exactly what Pajis is giving them right now. As you can see, Ellie is just absolutely disrespecting every piece of utility that is thrown her way.
Here.
Absolutely feeling it in that early round, and now it's so hard for them to actually retake, but they will move to 2v3.
Oh, 4 kills out of Ellie. It's all left up to Cool Guru, and not quite the ace. Pugs denies it, but still a strong round from the Jet. And I said that I wanted to see Ellie step up a little bit. We've seen some inconsistency from her. I'm loving this form right now.
I will definitely see what Pajis decide to do here. Now they're on the eco, it is looking quite rough. I mean, they have a lot of ultimates up, but how Army is looking right now, they're just setting up Ellie so well. They're able to find so many picks, so I'm really hoping that Mr. Sky with these trips can find some sort of angle here with Sing Zoom, because it is just not looking like the best time. Revolution will pop the Blade Storm, so they're looking for some sort of hope. But I'm just really liking Army so far in this game, but this high-low has to come through for this team. Army, they're both up.
I mean, yeah, it's not even really a high-low, but it is at least 2 players able to work off of each other, and I feel like that's what we need to see a little bit more of from Pajis. It felt very separated so far, and a couple of players trying to go for hero plays that aren't working out, and when that doesn't happen, you just kind of have to default back onto working it as a team and just trying to outplay your opponents, because they will start to get overconfident as they rack up rounds. Cool Guru, though, is trying to make that hero play, and once again, it's not going to work out. You need to start being more coordinated with your team and stop isolating yourselves from each other, or else Ellie is going to continue to cut you down. It's going to be Ellie dashing into the site. It's just going to continue to collect kills. She is absolutely feeling it right now and is destroying the opposition. 3 on the round, and I believe that last kill was through the smoke as well. We are witnessing an absolute dismantling of Pajis right now, almost single-handedly by Ellie.
I mean, Revolution will find 2, but that doesn't even matter. 12-4 Ellie is on this Jet. A performance we haven't really seen from her this tournament, and it is looking really good. Now that Pajis are done 6-1, I'm kind of surprised that there is no timeout, because they're just looking detrimental right now as this attack from Army. They're hitting from every side. They're playing slow. They're playing fast. They're really just playing extremely well on this Pajis map.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I feel like at this point you need to start shutting down Ellie. She is just over-aggressing to such an egregious degree, but she's not being punished at all. Like, this isn't me, trying to point out any flaws in Ellie's game. She's playing insanely well, and I completely understand why she's playing that way, because she's not being punished. She's able to just get away with it. Now, there is going to be a 1-for-1 trade so far in this round, so it is a 4v4 post-plant. This is, ironically, one of the best Paji rounds we've seen so far, and it's still far from guaranteed. They need to start collecting these kills, and it's all going to go the way of Army as they push through the smoke. It's Ellie and Pugs to completely destroy everybody.
They just wiped them so quickly that round. Once one went down, they all went down. That was...
Yeah.
That was something else.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to do something different there. Pajis tried to push out of the smoke and actually try and attack the spam head on, but it didn't work whatsoever. Ellie able to just continue shooting them down. Pug, someone we haven't really talked about so far, 7-1-9, hasn't died, just showing a lot of leadership and just playing very well on the Sova in general. I mean, just one of the best players on this Aurora team that has only died once, so just absolutely great for him.
Revolution trying to get some of that confidence back, maybe trying to push up aggressively, but as her teammate falls, she will as well. And this is just all going Aurora's way right now. Ellie is still just aggressing these angles, and nobody's checking it. Nobody's setting up trap plays. We need to see something else from Pajis. This is not the team that we're used to seeing right now, but they're just so absent right now.
Yeah, and Mr. Sky also set up that trip that no one went to close the door. Kind of a bit absent-minded a bit. Nice shot from Doggy there. A bit absent-minded, I think, from Mr. Sky, just not realizing what is happening on that B site. It's been a lot of just attacking the site, not really closing the door, just getting a lot of site advantage. And we're actually going to get a pause here from RME, not even Pajis. So we have a bit of time to talk about this game more as RME. They're up 8-1, and they're looking unstoppable on Pajis' map.
I mean, what? Okay, like there are some casts where you have a lot to talk about. It's back and forth, and there's maybe a history between the teams. But right now, there's not much else to talk about other than RME look on another level right now. Like Pajis not looking themselves, but also RME is hitting every single shot that comes their way. They're playing off of each other incredibly well. Like everything is clicking for them. And on top of that, apparently they're having tech issues. So, I mean, it's not looking great from Pajis. I don't know if maybe this is just a really off day for them. Maybe Aurora are just this good, but it's very concerning.
Discord is being weird.
Okay, apparently they're also having Discord problems. So, like, that just doesn't bode well at all for Pajis. If RME are having issues within Discord, that could be affecting their communication and their mental coming into this game, and they're still just absolutely steamrolling, something has to click.
Sickle, if you were in Pajis' position right now, what would you do to try and get back into this game? Because it does look really dire right now.
Honestly, I'm not the best person to ask for that. I am currently a Iron.
I will rip the light from them.
Get chat laughing out there. Yeah.
Hey, he's
fair enough.
He's here for the vibes, not for the high analysis that we get out of Rhodes, our beloved color caster. But I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I don't even know what the solution is for Pajis. I've suggested playing together more, but even then, RME, I've mentioned before that you'll start to get overconfident and start to overextend. It's kind of only Ellie who's doing that. The rest of RME are playing incredibly well off of each other as well. So I don't know what Pajis needs to do to get back into this.
Oh my.
Yeah, it has to be something, otherwise Ellie is gonna break a kill record.
This is stuff that we saw out of Pugs the last time we watched them as well. Like, just playing with your, not even playing with your team at this point. Absolute solo performances, Sing Zoom and Buckets is gonna have to save, because I mean, this is just a phenomenal performance we're seeing here, and I mean, just the amount of teamwork in general. I know that Ellie just got 2 kills by themselves, but the reason that Ellie has been able to get a lot of these kills has kind of been Zerfy and Pug setting her up, and it's just been kind of a knock 'em down type situation, definitely confusing the defense of them. And like I mentioned before, I do like attack on this map, and we can see why RME do too, because they are absolutely knocking down this team. They're getting so much aggression down, they're getting so much room that I feel like Pajis can't be giving them. They're not showing enough defense, and I mean, with their comp, it does definitely seem very unfortunate. They're going to try and force some money here, but I mean, they're going mid, another weak spot that Pajis aren't really defending.
Someone call Giga and tell him to give Ellie a raise. Of course, right as I say that, Cool Guru manages to double up and take out the 2 top performing members of RME. So all of a sudden, we've got a round that can finally be contested here for Pajis. However, it's still up for contention as it's Dog Eater in a 1v3, but has from the shadows and plenty of time to play with this one. So it has a decent amount of utility as well, but as they're caught by that flash, they are going to be taken down, and finally we're going to see the RME streak broken. Right as I was saying to give them a raise, because you know, at this point, maybe I'm just rooting for Pajis and the caster curse. I don't know. You guys can come to your own conclusions, I guess.
I mean, you always love your comebacks that never happen.
I do, but this is one of the few that I don't really believe in. At least not for this map. Pajis just doesn't feel locked in for this map.
Yeah,
even that round feels kind of like a fluke because you get a double kill off of some over aggression from RME. It doesn't feel replicatable. I probably didn't say that correctly, but we'll see what's going to happen as they're aggressing towards top mid.
I want to see what Pajis do here because, of course, they are going for this flank, but, I mean, it's being watched by Dog Eater. If Dog Eater is paying attention, this could be very scary in here.
Ooh, does lose the heads-up gunfight, though, to Sing Zoom. And all of a sudden, there's a man advantage here for Pajis as we're going into this final round of regulation.
Two.
But Hunter's Fury to take out one, but is left in a 1v3 here against all of Pajis barreling in towards the site. Caught by a paranoia, has to just bide their time and can't pull it off. So a little bit of a life out of Pajis in the tail end of the half.
The psycho flank finally works for Pajis, as I mean, it just hasn't really worked before. They keep sending like 2 members there and it just never goes their way, but now that they send 4, it does work out in their favor. And I do want to point out there too that since Buckets was actually able to find 2 picks, it actually hurt the numbers even further for RME, so they couldn't fight on site anymore. So they had to push out, and then they're just able to get picked off by the members of the flank, which it was a bit of a small thing that happened, but it just worked out so well on that over-aggression from RME there. So, I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. It's 9-3. That curse will always be a thing, but can it is the best question, because unless Ellie somehow falls asleep, unless RME's Discord continues to have problems, Pajis are going to be at the back end for the rest of this game, it kind of feels like.
Sickle, how much do you believe in curses?
A little too much.
A little too much? Well, around here, we are big endorsers of curses. We happen to have one of our own, which is when you win a pistol round, more often than it should happen, you end up losing your conversion. So interestingly enough, if the stars aligned and Army win this pistol round, we could see a double curse. The pistol curse and the 9-3 curse.
That's not the most just what I bring up. The 9-3 curse.
Yeah, I mean, RME are set up pretty well to win this round here. This is your best chance into this series if you are Pajis to rely on the fated double curse.
The only issue is we're not on Lotus or Haven, so the probability goes from about 40% to about 10%. So they are really hoping for that 10%. Maybe if we talk about it enough, it may happen. But we need to see this team definitely perform, and they are gonna force, I mean, what you're expecting at this point in the game. They're gonna be looking for these kills, and I'm looking at Revolution here. We'll have the Stinger in hand. Probably, at least in the past, the best player on this Pajis roster has not been able to do much so far, but I am looking over to them to actually get up and able to save this team from their doom, because like I said before, this is their map. They're heading to Lotus next, which is RME's, which can always be really scary.
Yeah, do not believe in the Rhodes propaganda. The curse can strike anytime, well, not anytime, but anywhere. It does not matter the map. And so this is the round where the pressure is on for RME, as they need to convert this to avoid it. And so far, it doesn't go their way. Dog Eater gets 1, but it's quickly traded back. Things are going back and forth here. It's a 3v3, and Ellie can't quite collect the 3rd kill there for RME. So they're thrusted into a retake with a bit of a health disadvantage. Actually, no, the health's about even. Ignore me. All right.
But this Ellie Vandal is going to do some work if they're not careful. It's a double spam, one in hell, so Singzoom has to do a lot of work here.
The concerning thing is they're giving Ellie these long-range gunfights as well, and she is absolutely thriving. RME completely shut it down, and Ellie continues this absolutely nuclear performance. All right, Curse is dead, no comeback. I feel bad because I feel like I'm trashing on pajis. I do like pajis, but this does not feel like a pajis game, man.
Fnatic came back from a 3-11, and I'm gonna say that's Fnatic. This is not pajis, so.
I mean, yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, it's another force, so if there's a will, there's a way, you know.
Fnatic's not even. What?
Yeah, Fnatic's still good.
They're still good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're not as good as they used to be, but I mean, they still make internationals.
Yeah. Where did they play in Champions? I can't remember. I'm gonna be honest. Third? Oh, okay. You know, Fnatic's back, you know? You know who else never is, well, not back because they never left. Ellie, still farming this lobby. Okay, they play for Ecstatic giving us false information. Chat, get him.
What's new?
I like how we're also just not casting the one round that Pajis is winning. It feels pointed now.
He's still wrong. They went 5th, 6th. They went 5th, 6th.
All right, and now as we transition out of the waffling portion into the actual round, Pajis has found an advantage. I think we found the solution. We need to stop talking about the game, and maybe Pajis will start to step up their game as they are trying to convert this post plan. It doesn't start out great for them. I already forgot. We asked earlier how to pronounce that player's name, and I forgot, and I stopped talking about the game again, and they won the round. All right, we found the solution for Pajis.
Alright, time to waffle about the rest of the game, as, I mean, pretty clean overall. They're able to win that round. I mean, it's always really scary when Pugs is alive because you know that explosiveness is there, but they were able to finish it off with the Guardian. Huge for them, and I really need to see Revolution step up here. I mean, Cool Guru has had a better couple rounds, or at least as best as you can get on a very bad losing team, so I want to see what the rest of this team can do as it. I mean, it's still rough, right? Like, this is a losing game right now. Ellie might find some more picks in a second. But no, Revolution, here we go. There's a chance.
Pajis is starting to step up, and I'm still not going to believe, because for Pajis to succeed,
I believe.
I was going to say, it seems like we need to flip the script for them to win this. So I need to stop talking about the game, and you need to start believing in them as Zerfi gets that kill towards mid. The spike is dropped here. And they also lose another player.
Oh no.
Towards top mid. I'm talking about the game again, which means that Pajis are crumbling under the pressure.
I've seen some good plays out of Singzoom, so I really, really need to see Singzoom do some magic here. I mean, the bomb is not in their hands. This is... Oh no.
Okay, well, I was trying to not talk about the game, or just not talk in general, so to see if it happened again, but no, I failed. I've failed. I'm sorry, Pajis. I tried my best. I'm sorry, Pajis. I really did. Please don't come after me. I figured with how vocal you've been, Ecstatic, that they couldn't hear you. I'm kidding. Casting with you was great, Ecstatic. I had a great
yeah, I can't wait to get replaced by Stack for the caster, since that was one of the most viewed Mountain Mayhem streams.
Dude,
so
we were pulling crazy viewership for that one too. What are we sitting at for this? I can't tell. There's a Twitch ad on my screen.
10.
10, yay! I'm guessing all the Pajis viewers left. As we're possibly drawing to that was ambitious from Revolution.
Is that? Oh no!
It's ambition from Cool Guru. I don't know what's happening. Okay,
ooh, Mr. Sky
doubles up and also has the neural theft. Won't invest it though. It's possibly the last round of the half. Don't know why you wouldn't, but Interesting decision here as now has to deal with this crossfire. And Ellie set up to try and collect this. Won't get the kill, but Zerfi is there to trade, and it is a very dominant game from Army Aurora as they run away with Ascent. We're going to give it a 5-minute break, and maybe in that time, Pajis can get it together. We are back with this matchup of Army Aurora versus Pajis. In map 1, we saw our Army absolutely barrel through Pajis, and now we need to see if it's going to be another masterclass out of them, or if maybe we can see the Pajis that we were expecting going into this series.
I mean, we're heading straight to Army's map of Lotus, and I mean, they 13-4 Apologies on Ascent, so I mean, the expectations are definitely low to start us off, but as both these comps are locked in, both of them being quite boring, uh, we'll definitely see how Apologies are able to come back, because I feel like that's something we saw a few weeks ago. I don't remember who they're versing. I think it was maybe Pantheon, that Apologies did have a rough start, I believe, and then we're able to come back into it. So I'm really hoping to see some sort of talk that definitely made this team able to step up more. And I mean, that all starts with this map.
Yeah, I mean, we need to see something out of Pajis. It'd be so disappointing to see the two of the teams that are undefeated going into this to kind of just peter out against each other. I expect a little bit more, and hopefully we can get that here. Maybe Pajis just needed some time to warm up. They did start to get. Actually, no, they didn't even get some more rounds, did they? Because it was 13-4. So even in the second half, they just kind of.
They got one round. Woo!
But they
Crazy.
need
You
more
know?
kills.
I got a feeling though, deep in my bones, that Pajis are cooking something up. All right.
I don't, under my zero zero visibility contract, Army is gonna win this. You know, I am looking for a $100 raise from Gigaberry. Army are gonna win this game 13-0, and we get instant pause. Okay.
Hey, let's go. Sickle, who are you leaning towards? I guess you're the tiebreaker here. So are you leaning towards Pajis or are you leaning towards Army?
I haven't ever seen any of these teams before, but so far from the gameplay and everything, I'm leaning more towards Aurora. Aurora.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, they looked unstoppable on that last map, but if Ellie is having potential internet issues, this definitely is a huge detriment to Aurora, as I mean, that was their main focal point last match. It kind of felt like it was Zerfi and Pugs just setting up the Jet to succeed, and then if they're not able to have that, if the internet issues do potentially happen, I don't know if it's internet or just still Discord, maybe bugging out the game or not, but
I think
if
there
that
was
is a
maybe
potential thing, that could be scary.
Yeah, it was a DC. It was a PC restart. So it seems like it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Maybe just like a routine update for the PC or something. I don't know. I have mine. And yeah, as Ecstatic is saying, sometimes PC just crash. You know, he's a lot more vocal now that he's not being able to be heard by you guys. So, you know, that's. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Ecstatic. You know I love you.
He casts more when he's muted than when he does when he's not.
I'm wondering
I
if
just lost all my Army channel points. What just happened? Oh no, they're
Sorry,
back.
what are you saying, Sickle?
I wonder if Pudgies were just giving that first game as like a false hope for them.
Ooh, you know what we should get Giga to do?
What?
We should get Giga to do like, or I guess we'd have Ecstatic do this, right? Because Giga's not the one streaming the game; it's Ecstatic. We should do polls for like maps and stuff. Have people,
That
you
is
know, bet
true.
with their channel points. We should do that. Yeah, I have a problem. All right, look, it's okay.
Elder is just a gambling addict, you know, just spend all their money on
Hey, I got a new
gambling.
CS
So
knife
that's why
today,
they.
though.
Of course, you guys.
No, I didn't
Okay.
unbox it. I did get a new one though. Dude,
Hey,
speaking of CS, since we're just waffling about, right? So, you know, there's a CS event going on right now, like there always is, literally never stops. But dude, my favorite team, or one of my favorite teams, upset the #1 rated team in the world today, and I am very happy. I'm sure you guys could tell my energy was a bit up today. That is why.
Oh, I thought it was just because you left all your friends in a CS game because you can't tell the time to actually come and
I did
cast.
also do, dude. My brain was in EST mode, not CST, and so I was reading it. I was like, "Oh, 7 p.m., 7 PST. Okay, that means 10 o'clock for me because EST."
Man forgets where he lives.
Bro, I jump between time zones so often with like scheduling and stuff.
This morning,
It doesn't happen to me often. This is I'm usually pretty good with it, but today I fumbled. I was I was in 5 minutes before the game started.
I woke up and I was looking at the matches and I was like, "Ooh, let me get in this one." So I saw that was at 7, and so I get ready and I come here at 7, and I look back at the channel. I'm like, "Why is nobody joining a VC or anything?" Pacific time, not Eastern time.
Yeah.
Yeah, happens every time.
Yeah. I am interested in that. We usually, but the last 2 leagues that I've casted Valorant in, they do it Pacific time, and most of the time, in my experience, it's usually Eastern time. So
I mean, you always catch
everybody
Canadian Eastern teams or leagues,
yeah.
so
This is also true. Well, actually, yeah, never mind. I was gonna say actually, I think they were Central, but they were not. They were Eastern time. Man, I was
I do-
stranded in Canada leagues for so long, and it was so oddly difficult getting out.
how dare you became Canadian. Let's
I
go.
did. Yeah.
Joining the Canadians.
My sister's Canadian, so
That is true. That is
it
true.
is true. Just had a kid. She added to your guys' population. You're welcome.
Unfortunately, she's in the wrong part of Canada, so
Have I told you where she lives? I'm not gonna say it
Edmonton.
on stream. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Okay.
We're dox Alderia's sister by saying Edmonton.
Do
Yeah,
not.
where the worst hockey team fucking lives. You know.
Yeah, hey, we're seeing a new side of Rhodes. We're seeing the hockey Rhodes. When he was sick, the last week, I want to go on record. Last week, when Rhodes was sick, he said, "I'm probably just gonna like stay in bed and watch hockey or something like that." And I forget
did.
that Rhodes is Canadian sometimes.
And hockey starts soon, and it's great.
Yeah, I'm a huge Eternal Fire fan. Ecstatic looked it up. He's so bored during this tech pause. Did you go on to HLTV for that? That's amazing. Yeah, no, I'm a huge Eternal Fire fan. I loved Woxic, especially back in the day, was my favorite opper. He's still kind of up there as one of my favorites because he's left-handed, so left-handed gang. And also I just like the way he played.
Left-handed
That's the
gang.
left-handed gang.
Hey, let's go. I knew I liked Sickle. Let's go. Yo, Rhodes, how does it feel to suck?
I mean, I play Valorant with left-handed.
That doesn't count.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm right-handed. So.
On top of that, I don't know. I just like Eternal Fire. No, that actually was like a little bit before me. I liked him in Mouse. Is how I got introduced to Woxic. I also used to play on ridiculously high sensitivity, so that was another reason. Ellie's disconnected again. Ellie's going through it right now. How long do they have their P10 left?
2:30 left. Oof.
Oh boy, doesn't bode well. But yeah, my other favorite CS team. We're just waffling at this point, and I get to rant about my CS teams. So whatever. My other favorite team is G2. I usually like the rosters G2 makes, like on average, but specifically, I am a sucker for roster. Like one of my favorite Valorant rosters is Heretics because I'm a sucker when 2 family members are like on the same team. I'm just a sucker for it. I love it.
I'm a sucker for you.
Back over to hockey. I'm a Boston
Okay.
Bruins fan.
I hate you. Go to hell. Anyway, Sick will never be talking on the stream again.
Rhodes, what's your hockey team?
Calgary Flames. So
I don't know
fun-
anything about hockey.
Yeah.
Is
So
that
just a quick tidbit. I know I'm not going to go on a tangent because this is a gaming thing and we're not going to talk about hockey. But Boston is the most hated team in all of hockey, and I mean Sicko probably knows why too. But they're people.
They're not the best, but that's my hometown area.
That's fair.
Close
That's
the
fair.
hockey team to my hometown.
Go sports ball.
Shush, shush. Static shush. Your team's not making playoffs this year. Shush. Neither is mine, but shush. Yeah, League of Legends Worlds coming up.
The Oilers did good last season, didn't they?
We don't win. Yeah,
Yeah, because my sister,
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Wait.
Oilers. They went to the finals. They lost to Florida. Get
Yeah,
records.
yeah. My sister was there for that.
Yeah, and they lost.
Yeah,
Let's go.
bro. And then she made a human shortly after that. Well, she had been making the human. She
I love cloning.
excreted
humans.
it.
All right.
Yeah, sure. I can ask you that. I love talking to you, like talking back to you when chat can't hear you. It's great.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a pickle now. Chat. Your time has run out.
Yeah, I mean, usually in my experience, it's up to the other team if they want to allow it to keep going or not. But like, I'll message Giga.
Forfeit.
What? Well, it's up to them. The army could either play with the disadvantage or forfeit.
I said might.
Hold up, I'm messaging him.
Will Giga pay attention? Because he also forgot to post the stream link and then
This is
called
pretty
the...
much just a podcast at this point,
Yeah, whenever we're starting at the Mountain Mayhem podcast, where we just talk about the league and how the teams are doing, it's kind of like the dive for LCS still. We're
Oh,
gonna talk
Giga
about league when
responded.
no one else plays league. But you
He
know
says
what?
they have to continue 4v5.
Uh,
I would still ask the other team probably to see if they're okay with it, but they are fully allowed to like say no and they have to play 4v5. But that's just usually how I go by, it's totally...
all right, we're game's loading. And...
engine graphic. Okay.
Okay, well we have to start.
Oh,
in the
Ellie's.
middle.
Oh, okay. Hold up. At the final hour, perhaps Ellie will make it back and be able to continue this absolute curb stomp of a match.
The final hour is like 3 minutes ago. We're starting up, ladies and gentlemen. We're finally getting into the game, and here we go. I mean, Pajis have had a lot of time to talk about it now, and now that they're starting on attack on Lotus, which I mean has been the worst side of Lotus from what we've seen in the tournament. So we'll definitely see what Army can do here.
We have been waiting so long for this round. Please don't let it be a slow burn, and it doesn't look to be, as 5 attackers are set up towards the C site. I realize I'm not following the observer, so I have to swap so I can actually commentate this. And it's going to be broken through here by Pajis. They've managed to get a foothold inside of the site and even secure a man advantage off the paint shells from Koguru, who's just going to continue to aggress, but caught out by the Haunt. It's going to be taken out, and Zerfi triples up with the classic. Absolutely beautiful shots, but it's quickly traded back. It's all up to Ellie and Pugs, and Mr. Sky has to hold off this 1v2. Starting to wrap around, though. Could manage to get the timing, but as he's spotted out by the Prowler, Ellie's just going to secure the kill. She is absolutely feeling it. The tech issues have not slowed her down one bit.
Right click. The right click fiesta there from Zerfi just absolutely went ham, and I mean defense has been the better side of from what we've seen in this tournament, and if Army is able to start with this huge bonus in cash in general at the start of this game, it could look deadly for Pajis. But there is this one thing that we have talked about before. We talked about it last map. We are on Lotus, which means the curse is upon us.
It looms over the head of Army. They've dodged it twice so far, but as they tango for a third time, it gets more and more threatening.
Ellie's gonna be picking
There's
up
my buddy.
nobody there.
Yeah.
What, Gecko?
And Mr. Sky is lurking up towards this C site, wants to find an opening, but they'll be spotted out by that camera, which means we put our eyes back over towards this B site. These attackers are just trying to bait out the rotations right now. It's gonna work out for them pretty well, as they're gonna secure a kill on Dog Eater inside of B, and it's gonna continue to be a push towards the C site. That will earn a 1-for-1 trade, which is gonna make this really difficult for Army, as their forces are gonna be spread spread so thin over these sites. C is where the plant will go down. It's a 4v3 advantage as we move into the post plant for Pajis, as they look to disrupt this RME team with the curse. Ellie goes down, and it all falls onto the shoulder of the supporting cast. It's Pugs and Zerfy to pull through, and Zerfy gets a double and a triple to pull through. They avoid the... Oh wait, no, never mind. I completely lost track of it. It's all left up in the 1v1. Zing Zoom gets hit by the detain.
So far.
Zerfy could just stick this defuse. I believe the time... Oh, the teleport animal every time! No, Zing Zoom doesn't get there. The curse is just narrowly avoided.
Zerfy absolutely saving the day as it was so close. The curse, it was there. It was in their hands. Just Zerfy, another triple in a row, absolutely saving Army's game. And now, if you're on the side of Apologies, what can you do to get back into this? Because I mean, another 2-0 start. We saw Army run away with it last time, so this definitely is a big detriment to what Apologies want to do that round.
Man, that has got to be heartbreaking for Pajis. They were so close to pulling through in that round, but can't quite do it. The advantage is that it's now all pistols for RME, but somehow they're making it work. Ellie is an absolute monster as she claims 2 more kills. Dog Eater gets another, and it all falls to this 1v1 Revolution versus Cherry. Is it Cherry? I can't remember. Chirai, that's right. Chirai versus Revolution. Around the world is how Revolution is going to play this. It might be able to catch them in the back if the timing favors them. And yes, it will. It will be the round converted. There will be no bonus available for Army.
How do you feel about that run, Circle?
That one was... I mean, the timing was immaculate. The timing was on the side.
I mean, like
Yeah,
Azur just said, it was exactly like a dogfight, just both teams going at it head on. And I mean, with the gun deficit, I mean, Army found so much more than they really should have, and a lot of damage was done. And it does look like Pajis do want to force into this round as well, so whoever loses this is going to lose a lot of economy for the upcoming rounds here.
Rifle still available to the attack, and Army can now respond in kind. Ellie, though, won't have the success that she's had so far, and it's gonna fall apart over here at the A site as Agita even whiffs the shrouded step. And so all of a sudden, it once again all falls to the Cypher, but this time it's an even taller task. A 1v5 demanded of them, and it feels too much.
The money is... It works out overall. They have taken 0 damage besides some armor breaks, so I mean it's Shirai versus 5. Feels kind of impossible. Even if they get a kill, this is such a good round for Pajis here, making it a 2-2 game. Gonna get timing here. We'll actually find Mr. Sky, so it won't be too bad. As okay, well, they are finding some armor breaks and whatnot, but Wisp will go awry. Either way, that's a really good round for Pajis to actually get some confidence into this game.
And they tie up the score as well. That's also going to force Army onto yet another eco, which means that all of a sudden, Pajis could start to run away with this game if they keep the economy strong and keep RME's economy down as well. Even if they're losing rounds, if they take out 3 or 4 players, Army could find themselves not having much of a foothold economically in this matchup.
And a Showstopper and a Thrash available now for Guru and Revolution does mean they can get onto this A site very easily and find a lot of picks. So Shirai needs to be very careful, and we haven't really seen much out of Dog Eater so far in this series. So I think this A site is definitely very beatable for Pajis to actually attack onto, but we'll see what Army do decide to do, as they are going to be doing a 3-man flank, but will Mr. Sky watch it or will he push up is the question.
Yeah, it's gonna be actively watched, but he can't quite land the shot, so all of a sudden, it's a player deficit here for pajis as they stroll into the A site. Another life is claimed here by the Cypher, and that allows for the neural theft to come through as well. All of a sudden, this is falling apart for pajis, but as Ellie can't quite find the showstopper and Singzum claims another kill, it's brought back by pajis all up until Army respond once more. It's a 1v3 demanded of Rivolution. Spike in hand, Thrash available, and C site under attack.
That was a macro misstep from that whole Pajis team. They decided to not use any utility on site. They just kind of dry swung, had no follow-up with each other, and it showed up in their face. Now that they're attacking door, it's just so much harder for Rivolution to actually defend here.
Definitely, Rivolution, though, has access to this Thrash, and that could be the difference maker in this post-plant, as it's going to stall out one of these RME players. Instead, Pugs is just going to decide to run right through and going to wait for the detained to be up for coverage on the defuse, but everything's going to kind of fall out of place there. Everything being a little bit rushed from both sides, and it's going to end up going RME's way with a Thrifty.
Their teeth will chatter in the cold.
I mean, that is, again, another round that Pajis, I think, want to have back. Another macro decision that didn't work out. Rivolution wasn't able to find value onto the Thrash either. I mean, they did find Shirei, but another round that definitely should have been won from this Pajis team. I want to see what they can do now as their economy is back down, kind of in the dump. Both teams kind of forcing a little. The only one that has healthy economy is Pugs. And with that Nightfall, it can definitely put a lot of work down for them. So I wonder how they will look to force it out, as Ellie is going to be put up into rubble. And I want to see what Pajis do decide to do here, because they still have the showstopper available. They do have a neural theft if they can find an early pick. So I'm really interested to see how they do talk about their game plan, because so far it does look like Army are really paying attention to all sides of this map, trying to corral this Pajis team that don't really look like they know what they're going to do so far in this round.
This could be a massive swing round here, because whoever wins this is going to run away with a pretty sizable economic advantage. And Ellie starts it out strong. She beheads one of these Pajis attackers. It's the rival Rays that is removed forcefully from this round, and they're going to decide to walk right back in towards this A site, where Pugs and Ellie await. The Dizzy is sent out but doesn't find any targets, and Pugs can activate alongside of Ellie to claim 2 more kills. It's all left up to Rivolution and Singzum, and Doggy to here on the broken door could really throw a wrench into the plans here. Singzum, though, does manage to break through and get this kill, but is going to be taken out from the back by Dogita. So now once again falls to a Rivolution clutch, as they're going to reveal they're inside of the inside of trees, trying to push into the smoke. Not quite gonna work out, and Dogita is blinded up by the Dizzy as well. Rivolution is just playing passive on this spike, trying to stall for the time, but swinging through the smoke, still manages to win the fight though. Insane from Rivolution to tie up the score and break the economy of RME.
Rivolution is back in business, finally showing what I've wanted to see in the last map. 8-3 now on the get-go, and just showing better macro. You saw the bad decisions there from RME, taking the ones, or just fighting it for no reason, just giving the advantages all the Rivolution. Huge macro decisions that you really want to see from their best player, in my opinion. So that is what you need if you're Pajis, to see Rivolution step up and win these 1v2 rounds that definitely look very scary, as they force RME now onto an eco. A hero rifle for Pugs has shown a lot in the past, and with that trip being gone, it does mean RME can actually push up so far into the spawn.
Yeah, they're once again going on to this aggressive flank in the eco. This should be expected from pajis, as it's a repeat of what happened just a few rounds ago. And as that trip is broken, Mr. Sky is going to reapply another one, but this back line is very quickly being aggressed. They're going to win their fights on the front line. That's going to give them access to the site, which means they can turn all of their focus to their backs. As that neural theft comes through and confirms the position of all the players, it should be closed out here from Paji in the post plant.
They're gonna use a lot of ultimates too. They're confident heading into this post plant.
What is this level of investment right now from RME? They're still trying to give this a look, and there's a response with a showstopper from Paji, so it at least flushes out some ultimates on the opposing team. But Pugs still wants to try and push through and manages to behead one of these players, but not able to get any further. And now it all falls down to Zerfi. He does manage to recover a rifle, but it's just going to take that and run, as there's no time to win this round.
That was 4 ults too many in that round. Almost none of them really should have been used besides that neural theft there from Mr. Sky. And that Thrash being gone and the Nightfall for RME is definitely super detrimental heading into these future rounds, where, I mean, that is actually such a big advantage for Pajis, even though they did actually use a showstopper as well. But with their Thrash and their Nightfall coming up soon, I really like that advantage that now that Pajis have to be able to attack these sites. And I want to see what Army can do now, as they definitely have a disadvantage, at least ultimate-wise, heading into these future rounds.
Yeah, Rivolution has gotten yet another Thrash up and running, which could be a massive asset to their team. Singzoom even manages to get the opening kill on the Zerfi, so this is looking really good from Pajis. It looks like they might be back, but let's not get up ahead of ourselves, because Ellie, still posted up in this rubble position, is just waiting to swing off the contact of Dog Eater, who will claim 1 kill of their own. And as Ellie's spotted out, is going to come under a lot of pressure, dropping down, but a beautiful shot, doubles up, and Pugs alongside with her absolutely shred through these attackers. It is insane from these two players.
That was
Ellie.
an insane round from defenders.
Ellie is feeling it today, and I mean, has had a couple of rough rounds in a row, but definitely when they're able to find the shots, able to find the opportunities, even in these very stressful things where you're spotted out, and you still are able to drop down, find the picks, you can just see the composure that was put into that round, along with Pugs too, able to actually follow up with a lot of what they want to do there. So, huge round to actually win that and get their team back in the game. Of course, both these teams now have a very interesting bye. It does favor RME, but whoever loses this round has a very big potential to lose the next 2, unless we see something from Pajis with their ultimates, as that Nightfall's almost up if they can get buckets, a orb, and they have that Thrash, like I mentioned before. But Ellie now has the showstopper back up again, which is a huge advantage for them. And since Ellie's been so good using utility, I'm really interested to see what they can do into this round, as it does look like Pajis are a bit confused on what they want to do around the map. They're a bit scared of this army defense, as they've been quite resilient last round. And I don't know, it doesn't seem like we're seeing as much confidence as we did a few rounds ago.
That is far from the first time as well that we've seen Ellie and Pugs absolutely shred through a massive amount of players together. They have an insane amount of synergy with each other, and it's really terrifying when they're grouped together. Half of that duo will be taken out in this round, but it's Ellie to just surge forward and get a 4K, almost getting the ace, but not enough bullets in the Vandal, but still will secure another round for RME.
I mean, does Pajis know they have ultimates? We're starting to get to that point where they're losing rounds now that they're not using. They've had 3 now in a row where they could have used their ultimates to win these. They could have cleared these sites. They could have cleared Ellie out in general, but they're just holding on to them for safekeeping. Maybe we'll see them in their next week's game, because right now it is definitely a detriment that actually put Army back on top. They are now have the huge economy advantage. They're able to buy for the next probably 2 or 3 rounds, or sorry, the rest of the half potentially. So I just really like what I'm seeing, at least ultimate wise. Of course, they did do the dumb thing before, but with that Nightfall coming up soon, there's almost no damages done overall.
And once again, it's going to be this B site under pressure. Dog Eater, though, not fully cleared in the corner, so he's going to be able to collect these kills, and even shots going awry for Revolution is going to result in yet another. These attackers cannot hold on to their post plants, and everything will crumble in an absolute avalanche of destruction from RME as they're running away with this half.
Sickle, what would be your perspective of Pajis? Like, what would you try and do to try and get back into this game if you were on Pajis?
Like you guys were saying earlier with the ultimates, I mean, they have the 3 now for the past 2 rounds, and they still have yet to use it. They could definitely use those ultimates. Definitely does not help. Have they even tried C?
I mean, we saw it in the first round and the second.
I mean, on top of that, C is such an easy site to abuse with stuff like the Nightfall or the Thrash, but instead they're just banging their head into B time and time again, which is leaving them susceptible to these pinches. Ellie takes out one in main. Dog Eater takes out another inside of Broken Door. Pugs is assaulting them from the back, and all of a sudden it falls all onto Zing Zoom, who can't do anything. Once again, RME pull off another masterful retake, and we need to start seeing some adaptation out of Paji. They've gone to B, I think, 3 times in a row now, and it is not working.
I think what Pajis think is that they are the Thrash, and they're just walking into the site just to be shot and taken down. So they're just like, hey, we're just gonna give you guys some more kills, you know, because you don't have enough already. It's just kind of unbelievable at this point where Army has had their 2nd rotation of ults coming on 3rd now for Ellie, while we're still on the 1st rotation for Guru, for Buckets, and Revolution finally has theirs back as well. But I mean, it's starting to get to the point where it's too late. We're on the last round.
For like 5 rounds now.
I mean, if you don't use it, oh, there we go.
Yeah, well, it's a Nightfall from the defenders. It's just getting sent out, and they're just aggressing this A main position. There is Thrash is going to be committed as well. This is, I mean, RME are absolutely farming them. Why are you throwing out a Nightfall there, man? That's just. Look, I try not to be like super critical sometimes, but that's a very questionable decision here from Pajis, and everything is going to fall apart for them in this half.
I'm here.
Oh,
that is why I'm here. We see, hey, you know what? Buckets used their ultimate. Buckets used it. They used the Nightfall. It was the last round of the half. They're 0-11, 0-7
It was
Buckets.
just a very
they used the ultimate.
moment.
And like I said before, Army, like I may have been critical about them earlier of using their ultimates there on that eco that just didn't amount to anything, but if
they're investing them, like,
at least they are investing them, at least they can see something, at least they are looking to win these rounds, and with an 8-4 half, it's so far looking like Sickle and I are right, because Pajis just aren't showing us what we've seen from them in the past. They're not looking like the 2-0 team that we've seen before. But this is a new half here. They are going to be on defense, which did look really good for RME. So I really want to see what they are able to do here against this attack that, I mean, RME are going to put so much pressure. Remember, this is their map.
oh my god, what a shot from Ellie. I was just about to say, I really hope we can get the Paji of the previous matchups that we've seen. It just looks like it continues to elude them. Granted, insane individual form from Ellie, and they actually are turning this pistol around. They've managed to bring it to a 3v2, made 2v2, as it's all gonna come down to Cheirai. Cheirai. I've forgotten their name like 3 times now. I'm so sorry, Cheirai. Please don't come after me.
We haven't seen too much out of Cheirai. We haven't seen too much from Cheirai, and I mean, this feels so hard because they have to actually get the bomb, and it is really difficult for the Cypher to actually attack the site right now, and Buckets will even throw that as well. So I mean, delays
that doesn't
even
help.
further, and
Wait,
this looks so hard.
That puts a false sense of confidence into Pajis. They think that it's clear because of that hunt, but Shayrai just walked right after it. Okay, it's wait, asleep at the angle. What is happening? Sing Zoom goes down. And all of a sudden, Shayrai could pull off this 1v2. Bucket is baited out by the players. No way! Are you kidding me? I don't know how to cast this. This is like what? I don't. What is happening?
All right, Sickle, you're the play-by-play caster now. Algeria just broken now.
We don't see this out of pajis much, and this is why I'm being critical. This is why I'm so confused. We have not seen this out of them, and it is completely asleep at the wheel right now.
I mean, the hunt might have baited them into thinking, but still, they had the angle, and just like you said, fell asleep at the wheel. I mean, it has happened to me before, but when you're in a league match, you have to be paying attention to these angles. And that was so good for Shayrai. I found a 4K on the round. Has had not the best series so far. Has been quite carried, to be honest. But it doesn't matter when your team is just putting up some really good numbers. And we'll have to see what pajis do now, as this game is all going to be undone potentially by a curse.
Cool Guru does manage to get one, but Pugs is quick to respond. It's gonna be this A site, and it's actually mostly gonna be forfeited, but Revolution is aggressive on this door, manages to claim 1 kill, quickly traded back by Ellie though, and brings us to a 3v3 here. Ellie trying to be the difference maker inside of this round, is just aggressing onto the site, but as our team falls around her, it might all fall down to her. Shayrai does manage to win their gunfight. They're on the back foot as they have to reload. An insane shots from Bucket! 2 back-to-back 1-taps to bring through the curse.
I mean, it's a half curse really at the end of the day, because they did buy into this round, but you can't discount Buckets there with a beautiful shot. I mean, technically beautiful. It was a 1v2 anyway, but still, it was a beautiful shot either way from Buckets. Had no kills, by the way, after the last half. It now has 4, so that is some progress. And with that clutch, gives them potential into this game, because it's only 9-5. You have to remember. And so it's not as bad as last map. So you can definitely see pajis potentially go on a run now with the gun advantage, money advantage, and I mean, I'm really interested to see how pajis can talk to each other now, as I can definitely see them doing a lot here.
Buckets going from 0 to hero there, and could possibly be the one to pull their team out of the dark here, as pajis possibly has had life breathed into them off the back of some insane individual heroics. It's once again gonna be Buckets who is tested here at this B site, but has some support from Mr. Sky, who backstabs Zerfy, and all of a sudden RME are sent retreating into the waiting arms of the defenders set up in the attackers spawn. It's absolute pandemonium, and in it pajis will thrive. It's all up to Ellie with only 30 HP in a 1v3 clutch.
Ellie can do this though, has the spike, has the showstopper, maybe on 1 HP, but I mean, we've seen crazier things before. Depends on what Revolution does here. Revolution is kind of the make or break here. I think if Revolution dies, this comeback is very doable.
Surely he does not lose this gunfight. That is an absolutely horrible one to lose there, as it's going to give Ellie the ability to go towards this A site for free and get that plant down. Mr. Sky is quick on their tail though. Like you said, the showstopper's available. This is workable for Ellie, as she's going to start to wrap her way around A main, or rather the A spawn. All of a sudden, they could find themselves getting backstabbed because they think it's more towards tree than anything. And she does manage to get the timing, pops the showstopper, but Mr. Sky is quick to respond and avoids the thrifty. All of a sudden, pajis are back in this.
I mean, like I said, that was so doable if Ellie could find Revolution, but the showstopper pop when you're running forward will always get you. I know it has to me. And we'll find them that round. They find 2 in a row. It may have been bloody, it may have been dirty, but they're able to get 1 on the board in the reverse funny number now. So we have to see what they decide to do here, and it does look like they're going to be forcing into this round again. Or not, they might be selling, we'll see. It does look like Cool Guru and Sing Zoom does not want to buy, so we're going to see 2 Bulldogs. Or, you know, I should just shut up and just let them buy, because they just do anything they want, really. We're going to see full guns here, or not full guns, but we're going to see some guns here from Sing Zoom, Cool Guru. I mean, they're just trying to force into each round, which I can't tell if it's panic or just confidence of these last 2 rounds, but we'll definitely find out as, I mean, Army are still in the driver's seat. 22-10-4 for Ellie. Just absolute domination so far in this series, and I mean, definitely has stepped up. Like you mentioned before, on Ascent, wanted to see some step up from Ellie, and we're seeing it now on this Jet and now Raze.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Podgy deal with the full rifles from the attackers. They have to make it work with slightly worse weaponry, but they do have a couple of ultimates to work with, and I want to see them invest those. We saw them sit on them way too much on the defense. They might not even need them. As Cool Guru collects 3 through the smoke for the 3rd, gets the 4th over the top, and is looking for the ace now. Dog Eater will deny it, but the round is secured. Podgies are starting to make us have a series.
What's your insight on that round, Sickle?
That was. I'm speechless. So close to getting the ace. I believe that was the second time, because they also did that in the first map.
I believe it was Army. It was Ellie actually that time, and I believe that actually happened twice to Ellie. It happened once on this map, had a 4K, and on last map had a 4K. And I believe actually Zerfy stole them twice as well. So, I mean, a lot of stolen aces in this series so far.
I do have a comment for that round though, Rhodes.
Please tell me, Odera. Please tell me.
Phantom Gang.
Oh, shut up.
So.
Anyway, it does look like C is the attack here, and
no, Mr. Sky gets caught by the paint shell off the back of the. Oh god, I'm just forgetting all the ability names.
C's.
The C's, that's what it's called. Thank you. I wanted to call it Shackle. Ellie has a gun as well as Ecstatic is shouting in our ears. So all of a sudden, this round could go the way of Army if this hero rifle pulls through. It is only a Bulldog, but a bit of passiveness off the Nightfall is going to be a bit of a bad omen for the defenders here, as the Thrash is also invested, but it's going the wrong way. It's not going to be able to detain any of these players. The defuse is starting to come through, and the spam isn't finding its mark. It's just a held defuse. This is so weird.
What just
his knife
happened?
out?
What? Or did this give away free round? Sorry, there's a few things mentioned there. Number one, they didn't plant for mound. I know I screamed that. But either way, what is Army doing playing for mound when they didn't plant there? Ellie will call timeout. Who would have guessed that round was chaotic? Guru loses the operator, so that money is gone. And I mean, there's a Thrash as well. Like, that round was chaotic.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting one. But look, Ecstatic, I love you, and yeah, we will talk about that season 8 Ecstatic. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to move past it because I fumbled the name so hard, but that was a great setup from Army to crack open that C site, and it's probably going to instill a little bit of fear into Mr. Sky. It's going to have to be a bit more dynamic with how they play this C site, because it will get abused if they just try and play the same position over and over again. However, I mean, the end of that round was a shit show.
I mean, that is putting it lightly. But at the end of the day, Revolution and Guru are starting to show us what we've seen before from them. We're starting to see them pick up the pace, especially Revolution here. 15-11 now on the get-go. But, I mean, Army, they're starting to throw it quite a bit. I mean, like you mentioned before, that was a shit show. And, I mean, if we continue seeing that, I think that's what Pajis are really thriving in. They've definitely shown a lot better in that type of environment. So, Army, they need to try and clean up their act quite a bit. Of course, they are on the attack, so it is the worst site somehow on Lotus, but it just is nowadays. Attack sucks. Guru also has an operator, so we'll find 0 things into this round once again, unless they rotate back to A, which it does look like that is the plan. And
what
I am talking...
timeline are we living in where there's a attacker-sided Ascent and a defender-sided Lotus?
I mean, all I'm saying is that I told you so, you know? Like, you didn't believe, and then boom. That's
I'll
exactly
tell you what
how
I
it
do
works.
believe in, though. I believe in this Pajis comeback, as it's Cool Guru set up on the angle with the operator. Does manage to get the tag onto Ellie, so she's gonna have to play this round from the back foot now. And as that Nightfall goes through, it's gonna have to be a rotate in from the rest of the defenders to help Kuguru, as so much utility comes down on them. They have to fall back. The site will be forfeited, and we find ourselves in a post plant, but it's actually a backstab from the rest of the defenders. They managed to get around the corner fast enough and deny the plant. So all of a sudden, Pajis is right back into it. Ellie trying to wrestle it back. It's 1 kill, but can't manage anything else before Chevy Buckets cuts down her team, and Revolution crunches. It's 4 alive at the end of the round as Pajis tie up the score.
There was so much util used in that round.
That was a lot.
I mean,
Definitely half the time.
yeah, and Revolution and Singzum actually fighting stairs there actually showed so much confidence in themselves, and they're actually win the round. Like you said as well, Seko, that utility that was used for Army actually wasn't able to find the mark, but instead the flashes and the smokes were used for.
Yeah.
The Gecko stopped twerking. The Gecko was twerking.
Oh my god.
What?
We're seeing up though from Singzum here. That's going to be on C, which is not where they're going to go. I mean, very scary spot here for Guru. Will it be a feast or famine position? And we'll let see how that works out.
I love the slight bit of faith that you had in me that I was talking about something relevant. Just for it to be the dumbest thing. Immediate disappointment in your voice. But I'll tell you what isn't disappointing. This series, all of a sudden, it's something to talk about as 2 kills come through for RME, but Revolution is right there to respond and get 2 of his own. And all of a sudden, we find ourselves in a 3v3 post plant. Stogita is trying to set up towards this pit position to cut off anybody pushing through heaven. It's going to be the defenders coming through the main positions, hitting that door, and Mr. Sky doubles up. It's all down to Dogita in the 1v3 made 1v2 as they snipe down Singzhu, but can't best Mr. Sky. All of a sudden, Pajis has flipped the script and they find double digits.
Mr. Bright Sky. I mean, we're seeing some really good stuff.
Really? You're not going with Mr. Blue Sky? Are you serious? It was right there.
But yeah.
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 I mean, there's not really much to say. I mean, Pajis have woken up. We're finally seeing what we wanted to see. We've been bitching about it for the entire cast so far, but now that we've seen them win 6 in a row,
bro, why am I getting so
feels like they've
giggly?
woken up. Yeah, you're talking about Giga being high. I think you're a bit high right now. God damn.
Oh, I do not smoke the ganja, but no, you know, if it's your thing, go for it.
Devil's lettuce.
You know,
The devil's lettuce.
the devil.
Alright.
Army
Army are.
Actually, I'm not gonna trauma dump on stream. Let's avoid that. Never mind. As RME are trying to dump the spike on the site. Transitions, baby. And we find ourselves in a 5v5 post plant. Army are trying to find their foothold back in this series. But all of a sudden, Pajis have found life, and it's given them another flash, but it doesn't clear the corner. They walk right in, and Cheirai is able to cut down one of these players and deny access to the site. It's gonna require a big step up from Guru. Oh my god, out of nowhere though! The skills just start raining in, it all falls on the Dogita. Time is low though, they have to cover these well, but Revolution pulls through in the 3K, and Pajis is a train that will not stop.
I think that was that a no scope from Guru?
Yes, it was a no scope. Yeah.
My
What was that retake?
That was just absolute randomness. I mean, that all started off with Cheirai finding that pick off Mr. Sky not clearing the corner, and then they just got collapsed on. The no scope from Guru, and then the right clicks were able to find some kills. Revolution on the other end of the site was able to push and find 2 as well. What a round there, and I think the Thrash was also used. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Revolution also invested the Thrash into that round. But either way, we have the funny number once again on the board, but in favor.
No. Okay.
In favor of Pajis this time, and with the showstopper for Guru, I'm really interested to see what they can do in this round.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I'm Canadian. I can say it, right?
Okay. Is that what that means?
Hey, I mean, it was a week ago. I think we passed.
Is it too soon?
Is it too soon? It was a week ago.
Oh God. So Rhodes, I'm gonna start cutting off my connections now because I think Rhodes just shot his casting career.
I
I'm
let's
just
be
kidding.
honest,
It's
to begin
fine.
with.
It's fine. It's fine. It's it's the
I mean,
internet.
that's like the fourth 9/11 joke I think I've made as casting with you. So I mean, I think we're
You-
still fine.
I think you're good.
Have you made
I-
a lot of those?
Oh yes, I have.
Have they
I'm
just gone
surprised
over
you
my head?
acted like that. Yes.
Okay.
We see an eco coming out from
Surprising, I
Armenia,
make a lot.
so
That's surprising. I make a lot of them. Like,
I wonder what we're gonna see out of Armenia because we're actually seeing them on the back foot, which I mean they're kind of spiraled out of control now, where they have had like no pressure into this game after the first half. It's kind of just been they won the pistol and then have just fallen off the place of the planet. So if Guru finds this op kill as well, this just looks so hard for Armenia the rest of this game.
we were posted up with this op. It will not find its mark on the first shot, though. Tries to re-peek in for another one, but is just going to back off of that as that shot doesn't connect either. And all these rotates are going to start coming in for pajis as they've found a foothold. They've found a life within their game. We are seeing what we're used to from them out of nowhere. But once again, this plant will go down, and it'll come down to the retake. We've seen them thrive in these scenarios, but can they replicate it once more as that thrash comes through? Revolution, a big game player, has been detained. The showstopper goes in from Cool Guru, and all of a sudden, it's gonna be the round lost for Army, despite them getting all the kills because they don't kill the wingman on the defuse.
They actually all push out the door, which means that the wingman that was on the bomb was just able to defuse it. It doesn't matter that Ellie actually found a lot of kills with the sheriff and picked up the rifle, because the round was completely lost because everyone in tree that stayed there died to the showstopper or just to bullets in general. And that does kind of feel like it is kind of the grave now for RMA. They do have a gun round coming up, but with no ultimates really available because the thrash was invested, they'll have to get Ellie with the showstopper, but I don't know if that will be enough, as I mean they've just looked so good, and with Revolution, Mr. Sky here, I feel like they can probably hold this.
Yeah, they're gonna send it in with the showstopper. Ellie wants to take this space and wants to be aggressive here, trying to change up the tempo of this match. She will successfully do that as Mr. Sky is stripped from this round. RME are trying to avoid losing this map. They now have to push for overtime, and they're gonna continue to aggress into the spawn of the defenders, as it's all left up to 3 members. They're just trying to wrap in from Mound. It's a full wraparound from the attackers. Sing Zoom stands strong for 2 kills. Pugs trades it back, and it falls onto Cool Guru and Revolution, who have been 2 massive players. And as that Dizzy goes through, it's going to allow the space, but none of them are able to get past the Gecko Molly. That mosh pit will cut them down, and the loss of Lotus is avoided for RME.
That's true. Good advice.
So far.
Rhodes, I've been a good boy. I finished my vitamin water. Can I have my brownie now?
No. Anyway.
Aw.
Ellie has ×2 the kills of the second person on the team. I think there's kind of a showing of who is the player that's pushing Army to actually win this series right now. Because 30 and 16 is crazy.
You didn't give me my brownie. I'm sad now. Ooh,
You're always
great
sad.
peek. Great peek from Mr. Sky, but quickly traded back by Ellie, who's just sending it into the seaside, trying to create the space for her team, and it'll work once again, as they once again have access to this C site. They're going to go and send in that wingman for the plant. The neural theft will come through, and it'll reveal the players on the defense. So they know that they don't have to worry about their backs currently. They can focus all of their efforts towards the front. But as this nightfall comes through, they have to hold strong. They don't have a lot to work with in terms of utility anymore. And Cool Guru Zerfi out with the paint shells. Cool Guru sending it into the front of the site, trying to cut down these players, and will manage to get a double kill. And Sing Zoom cuts down Ellie as well. So Lotus will go the way of Pajis, who are looking to mount not just a comeback in this map, but in a comeback in the whole series.
I mean,
we were just talking about them going to C, how they should go to C, and then they start going to C, and look, now they're winning.
I mean, that was
how that happens.
That was Pajis in the first half, but either way, that is right. I mean, their defense on C was really good for Pajis, and I mean, we finally were able to see something from Revolution, from Guru. Unfortunately, the camera did pan right when they did peek out, so we didn't see the Guru timing there, but either way, that was really good from them to actually step up in this game. And like I actually mentioned at the end of the first map, or at the start of the second map, sorry, this team of Pajis are really good on these comeback scenarios. They're really good on losing the first map and then showing a burst of energy, and that's exactly what we saw as we're going to be heading to Sunset next.
Yeah, we're going to need a quick 5-minute break, though, to get ready for this, and it's getting really interesting. Who's going to be more alive inside of map 3? We'll be right back. Welcome back to this series. We've made it to map 3 of Army Aurora versus Pajis, as we need all 3 to figure it out. Pajis looked on the back foot for almost the entire series until they finally woke up inside of Lotus. And now we're going to see who the victor of this series will be.
I mean, they were a second half king there, won, 10 or 9 rounds in a row, I believe. They looked absolutely phenomenal. They got the curse in their favor, and now we'll have to see what they do on a sunset, where I don't know if they can do that again. They need to not fall so far behind to this Army team, because Army's just been bashing them in at the start of these maps. So I really want to see this Pajis team to actually be able to fight back in these early rounds, able to experiment on what Army are trying to do in these mid rounds and actually capitalize on the disadvantage that they are given, because it does feel like that is what Army has been so proficient at least at the start of these halves. So that is what I'm looking towards for this map of Sunset.
Yeah, definitely. And I personally am really excited to see how it pans out, because Sunset can be such a banger map sometimes, and it really can lend itself to going back and forth. And that's all I can hope for here. Honestly, I don't know which way this is going to go, but I'm just glad that we got to see Pajis wake up.
Sickle, who's your player to watch for this game to be the difference maker for either of these teams?
Ellie for Army.
Static, shut up.
and
Static out here
Revolution.
influencing decisions.
Yeah, I mean, Ellie has been absolutely phenomenal in this series so far. If I just pull up these stats real quick. I won't be able to get by the time this mid round happens, but it does look like Army are heading through mid, where, I mean, Buckets needs to be careful.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Ellie is able to secure a kill with the Boombot in post-mortem, but Sing Zoom collects one onto Cheirai. It's going to come down to this post-plant with the attackers at a slight man disadvantage, but look at the HP on some of these defenders. Just a few shots will bring them down. Get a smoke thrown in their face. They're playing for the spam right now. Either that or swinging through it late into the round. With a man disadvantage, this could be very dangerous for them to invest into. This is a tap on the spike. Some of these defenders will start to fall. Revolution on the edge of the smoke is just trying to play for coverage on the teammate. This HP difference is massive though, and it's going to allow Army Aurora to pull through on the pistol.
The spam works out for them, and Doggy will get off to a pretty good start to this one. And like my point before the action actually began, Ellie in 2 maps in the series has 59 kills. That is absolutely crazy to start off for the series in general, and just kind of a bounce back from at least what we've seen before from Ellie. Definitely just showing that this is their day, and I mean, it's looking really good for them.
Yeah, definitely. Revolution pushing up through mid here. They're trying to get something going on this pistol round, trying to overwhelm these SMGs of Army, and they've done well so far. They've taken one out. Doggett now has to deal with the cavalry and can't manage it. As 2 players go down, it's a massive man advantage for Pajis, and they're still trying to divide and conquer these kills. They've managed to secure a good portion of this site. The time is ticking down, but all the kills are going their way, and Ellie is trying to stand strong right now. They need to start winning more of these fights, but they just continue to lose them as it's coming down to the wire here. Pug swinging through, denies the kill and denies the defuse as well. But there's still time for Revolution. The curse rears its head.
And once again, RME Aurora are the victors of the dangerous curse. And I mean, we saw what happened on Lotus. Can it happen again? Is this the big upbringing here for Pajis? We saw them go super far in the last map with this curse, and I mean, it's looking really dangerous for Aurora. They need to clean it up after this round, because they are probably going to lose it, let's be honest. But I mean, never say never. You never know what you can see in a series on Sunset in general, because it can be such a skirmishing map if you're not careful. And just like Army want to be super aggressive up mid. So Revolution does need to be a bit careful here.
Yeah, definitely. Army are thrown on to the back foot with their economy now. And all of a sudden, things are looking really good for pajis as they manage to convert around that realistically should not have. Mr. Sky is going to keep it going. Ellie goes down, and they're going to keep this B site locked down, but the plant will manage to get set out, and Pugs has found 1 kill, but not able to get much more. There is a late flank coming through, and Dog Eat is able to stall out the defuse as well. This could turn itself around because there's a rifle now available, and they don't know about this flank coming through. Tap on the spike. They are re-clearing their back, but the trigger discipline could be played. It's not gonna come through. We will not see back-to-back thrifties.
That was looking really dangerous. Shirai could have played such a disciplined trigger there that could have won them the round, but just a bit too heart pump in time for them. Yeah, that made sense. And that definitely did not play into their favor. They found the shots, but buckets. Shemevi buckets, you know, able to actually find a decent start to this game. 3-2. I mean, the boards, across the board right now, the kills are kind of spread for pajis. As, I mean, Army so far, it is definitely a slower start. Of course, they've only had that 1 round of guns. Now they'll pick up some more. They're heading on to attack, which has worked a lot in this series, but can it work again, as Pugs does have that thrash to use?
Ellie gets a great opener here onto Revolution. She's gonna try and be that difference maker, create the space like she did on Lotus, and hopefully be able to pull her team through. But Sing Zoom is gonna triple up inside of Alley and is absolutely shut down this attack. It all falls onto Zerfi's shoulder, and as they're hit with the paranoia, they have to bide their time. Players are closing in on them, and this looks really rough for Zerfi as Mr. Sky is lurking through. He's just going to be holding the edge of the smoke. Zerfi swings through, does get the kill, but Cool Guru is there for the trade, and Paji stabilized for a 3rd.
Singzoom with a perfect flashpoint was able to find the 3K, just peeks out, finds 2, and then takes the ego peek for the 3rd as well. I mean, that round definitely shouldn't have really been that well won, as Revolution did fall early to Ellie. But, I mean, with a perfect flash, that's all you can really ask for to find that play. That does force Army into a weird economy situation where it does look like they want to potentially force. I always say that, but then they sell last second. But no, it will be another force here. They will be buying for next. Not the best guns to work with a lot of stingers and whatnot, but a free A site now for Army. No one is really set up towards it, so I'm really interested to see how this retake actually goes with this Thrash also being used for Pugs.
Yeah, definitely. Ellie is, like you said, a player you want to see step up. Had a stellar map 1 and a great map 2 as well, but it wasn't quite enough to pull her team over the line. The teammates will fall around her. The eyes will continue to train closer and closer on her. She's under a lot of pressure, and she's gonna pop the showstopper. 1v4 on her plate, and she can't even get a single one. Revolution closes out the round, and Pajis are on a streak.
The jitters are getting to Army now. Ellie did pop the showstopper for essentially no reason, let's be honest. You're not really feeling it at the moment because you are getting trampled on by this defense that is just looking really good from this side. Apologies. I mean, we saw it last map as well. I mean, their defense is getting their echo. The coach is going to call a timeout, and you can see that the tides have turned Army. They're on their back foot now. They are kind of scared. They have a lot of ultimates to work with. They have that Rolling Thunder that can get them back into it, but 4 ultimate, 3.5 ultimates on the side of Pajis can definitely throw Thorn into what Army want to do. So I'm really looking to see what the rest of this Army team can do, because we've seen so much from Ellie, but we need to see the rest of the team step up here.
So far, we have seen Army be in the driver's seat for a vast majority of this series. But as of late, going into the second round of Lotus and now into the 3rd map, they've lost their stride. All of a sudden, pajis are in control, and honestly, it's a lot of struggle from RME to try and wrestle it back. It seemed kind of flat-footed for an extended period of time now, and find ourselves wondering who's going to be the one to pull RME out of those depths. Perhaps it's their coach, and breathe some light into this team.
I mean, we've
Here.
seen timeouts in the past help these teams so much, so I'm really hoping that Echo is
work.
able to talk some
Don't
sense
screw it
into
up.
them, as it does look like Revolution is going to be pushing down tiles once again here, so definitely could go either team's way at the start of this round, because we know Revolution can be so good in these 1v1 picks.
Gonna get caught out though, and it's all gonna go the way of RME. The timeout seemed to be what they needed. A bit more fire lit under their bottoms, and they managed to wrestle 3 kills. Control is back in their grasp as they look to go towards this A site. It's a 2v4 post plant that they have to hold off against. Surely they're able to convert this one.
I mean, overcommitment is the name there. I mean, everyone peeked out and just gets absolutely trampled on, which helps this army team so much as they are in the backseat of the car at the moment. So we need to see what Pajis will do for the rest of this round. It does look really hard because there is that Rolling Thunder available for Zerfi as well. And that Thrash is gone for Shmevi, so definitely even harder to actually do, especially since they're just going to be playing these off-site post-plant.
Do start the defuse, and Mr. Sky manages to get a double kill. This wingman is sticking the defuse as well. Gets it at least a half, and Mr. Sky almost goes nuclear. That round almost slipped away from RME, but they barely limp out of it.
I think if Mr. Sky didn't run out of bullets there, I think that's actually the round, as, I mean, just completely feeling it there. Found the double, because Shmevi and Mr. Sky both took a 1v2 fight. Mr. Sky won theirs, and if Shmevi was actually able to find at least one pick for a trade, that was all Pajis, but of course that is all what is. And now we're heading into this round where it's going to be a what is Pajis doing again, as they want to overcommit to mid again, which didn't work last time.
They're at least postured to put some presence there, but it seems like they're not going to fully commit into it this time. They're going to give RME some respect here and just play it passive. They're instead looking to hold on to market control mainly, as they have 2 players postured to try and contest that. But a Paranoia will force them back, and Ellie manages to get the opening kill onto Buckets as well. Rolling Thunders exchanged, but the attackers are the ones pulling away with the advantage here as they look to crack open this A site. RME have found their stride once again. Guru is looking to strip that from them as he takes out Cheirai. And it's gonna have to be Zerfi to step up alone on the site here. The rest of their team is in towards B main, and Zerfi will deliver 2 kills and looking for the third as well, as they're just jiggling the corner. There's no way into this round. The breach has to forfeit it, and honestly, Zerfi is the main reason RME are pulling away with that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's starting to be more structured for RME now. They're going to be forcing Pajis more on the back foot in the rest of these rounds, and we're starting to see that timeout actually do its dividends. Echo said, hey, slow it down a bit, play together, and push as a team, and that's exactly what they just did. Pajis, their forcefulness of being a bit more chaotic, trying to find these weird picks, is really actually just working, and that just showed a lot of difference right there. So now we're gonna have to see what Pajis can do. The same play that they keep trying to run, trying to find some sort of mid presence. If they get pressured and they get shown a lot of attack and just make them a bit scared, it has shown right now that it is kind of hard for them to try and defend that. But now we're gonna see what they can do into this round. We're gonna see a Blade Storm pop for Revolution, and I mean, it does look like Army wants to go for the same play once again.
Sing Zoom is looking to support Revolution with a flash here. They're going to try and clear out much of this A main position, but it's just Cheirai holding passively on the flank. Watch is going to get deheaded by Revolution, though. Insane step up from them in this third map so far. As they transfer over onto the Jet, it's going really well for them. This market is once again, though, going to be the weak point for the side of Pajis as it gets broken through, and that means that the B site is once again secured. A plant for CT, and Zerfi is going to try and secure that position as they jiggle in. It's Shmevi who is put down to low HP and can't hardly hold off against these players, but it's good support utility to set up their teammates for success. However, the defender spawn is secured here, which is where RME wanted to play this post plant. It's going to be hard to break through. Revolution looks to tap onto the spike, tries to find the shots, and will land them. Sing Zoom to support, and it's going to be right back into this series from Pajis.
Even though Army lost that round, I actually really like that call. I really like how they wanted to play from Boba there because that kind of countered what Revolution was doing on that flank. And obviously it didn't work out in the end. They were able to find the picks, good shots from Revolution and Sing Zoom. And I mean, I just really like that call overall from Army. It was something different, it was something aggressive, and it almost worked out overall. But I mean, Pajis finding a round back. It's 5-3 now. Their economy is back into a decent position. We'll definitely see what happens after this round, because whoever loses most likely is going to be on a force. And I do like the ultimate economy from RME. They do have a lot of ultimates coming up, so we'll definitely see how they do play these rounds. Maybe look to get orbs. It doesn't look like that's what they're doing at the start of this round, but it does look like they're going to keep going for this mid position. So, I mean, Pajis, they need to be ready once again.
Guru is set to receive this aggression once more, and Shmevi Buckets is there to support. They're starting to invest a little bit more manpower into this market hold, as our enemy have seemed to have deemed it as the weak point, but this means that they have more of the map to work with. They're going to poke and prod towards A, and it's Revolution who's going to be the first contact here. It's going to get some early shots, but not be able to secure anything, and just has to fall back. Can you get out? Revolution barely able to escape with their life, and RME are trying to burst through this site. They're going to do so with the showstopper. Ella manages to secure the kill. Mr. Sky is going to get one, and Cool Guru wrapping around the back also gets one, but Ellie is right back in there as well, who's looking to refine her form. Revolution tries to deny the plant, but can't quite get there in time, and the thrash comes through as well. Ellie is farming. She's looking for the ace. Can't quite get it, but it's still gonna be the round for RME.
I think Zerfi has taken 3 aces off Ellie, if I am not mistaken. Either way,
it's 2 or 3. It's more than 0.
It is 2. I'm not sure about the third. I know there was a third one that was stolen, but I don't remember who took it. But I know Zerfi has done this twice, where it's the last person alive, and just takes it. I mean, could have really backed off there. There's no intention of death there for Ellie, but either way, Army win that round convincingly, and we'll have to see what Pajis do. And it does look like they are changing things up. They're going to play some more aggression here towards main.
Said that we could be finding this map to be a real back and forth, and that's what we've gotten so far, as Army are looking to tie up the score. It's a weak bye here from Pajis, and it's been no difficulty for RME to break through it. A little bit of damage, a kill is secured, but that is all Pajis will be given. Ellie is on fire once again and is looking to shut out this Pajis team with a 3K as she takes out Revolution potentially. And yes, she is so clean with it today.
I mean, that's another 3 kill. Sorry,
My
John.
stuff has malfunctioned yet. Can we celebrate
Ellie
that?
just pushed them so hard that round.
I mean, that's
Got
not...
excited and just powered through it.
Yeah, I mean, every round it does feel like Ellie just going absolutely crazy. Whenever a duelist says, "Oh, it's not my job to get kills," I'm gonna start saying, "Look to Ellie here," because Ellie doesn't matter, getting set up from the team, able to initiate onto these sites as a duelist, and is doing what the role's sake is called, dueling every single player that comes across, and she is absolutely on fire this series. Has 70 kills in, not in total, but at least 70 kills now in the entire 3 maps. And, I mean, we're looking at 80 at this point. Like, this is going to be one of the highest kill counts that we're going to see in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, and she's not showing any signs of slowing down as well. This has been a massive match. I mean, this match alone, she's gotten probably close to like 60 kills at this point. She had 20 plus on maps 1 and 2, and she's already at 50. She's probably pushing close to 60 in this series alone.
She's at 74 kills in total in this series.
In this series alone?
Yeah, like I mentioned
Oh my
before, I
God.
guess you were listening.
Disgusting.
She got 27
How do you
map
mean in
1.
the tournament as a whole?
No, in this series.
That is
27
disgusting.
map 1, 32 map 2, and now we're on 15, only halfway in. We're seeing. Oh my.
She's setting a record that might be. It's going to be really hard to overtake that record. As I mean, I'm sure she's already secured it. Surfy a little asleep at the wheel at the angle, but it's going to be a misinput from Revolution dashing forward into the attackers, which means things are going to be neutralized to a 3v3, and Ellie is still on the board, and she's gotten a showstopper available as well. There's a massive danger still in this round for Pajis, and they're going to be forced off of this A site as well. They're going to have to rely on the retake.
Where's... Okay, she maybe just went the long way around. I was very confused on that positioning for a second. They also... Buckets does have the Thrash as well to use. It will take a bit of time to get over, but I'm really interested to see what Ellie does here on this top position. It's usually cleared, but with how the positioning in this game is going, I don't think she's going to be cleared here.
It's hard to flush out with utility though, and she's got the showstopper as well. She's gonna send it forward and claim Sing Zoom's life. Pugs claims one on the flank, and it's all left up to Shmevy Buckets. So he sends out the wingman to start defusing, but it's right there for Ellie to deny that defuse and get the kill. 1 HP is all she needs.
Shmevy did their best, but Ellie says good night. As another amazing round. That's 77 now, and we're just counting up from here. If this could be a 100 kill game, that is going to be historical for the Mountain Mayhem League. And we are seeing no stop right now. And as Static is not a believer, as he says in my ear, but you know, at this point,
I want to hit the 100 bomb. I believe in the Ellie 100 bomb, honestly, as she has turned it up to a new level in this series. It's going to be her teammates to get most of the kills. She managed to wrestle one back, but at the end of the day, it's still RME coming out on top in these trades. As the dust settles in mid and all the bodies fall, it's all left up to Cool Guru in the 1v2 with only a Guardian to work with as well. Seems to have an inkling, though, that this is going towards the A site, which means he's going to be able to pick up a rifle to try and make this clutch happen. As he loads it with a full mag, the penny will drop towards A, and he's already ahead of it. He's starting to lurk in close for this retake. Could see this go either way. We've seen a lot of fumbled rounds from both teams, and the tripwire might sow some doubt in them as well, as he's able to just shrouded step right past it. They do have a camera to watch this position. I don't believe they've heard him jump down from the box. It depends on which way he goes. As that smoke is sent out, they should be able to confirm his position because they hear him running. As he's running out of time, running out of chances. He needs to make this push happen. Teleporting into his own smoke, but it feels too far gone. If these players just tuck in and play off each other, they will in fact secure this round. It's 7-5 on the half for RME.
Another dogfight, and I mean, Army come out of it on top this time, and now it's 7-5 after the half. Pajis, they're up 4-1 after the timeout, though. It's 7-5 Army, so I mean, this map is still anyone's. Let's be totally honest. Both these teams are able to play the second half really well. But I think so far, at least, Army has been the better team that able to adjust over time, able to try and configure and try and change up their strategy a bit when stuff isn't working. So I really hope we can see that out of Pajis if they come out to another rough start, because they have, I don't know, I need to check actually how many pistols they've won, because it feels like they've actually won 0 pistols.
If they want to secure this series, they need to snuff out Ellie's flame because she has been absolutely on fire inside of this series, and they need to start taking her out. They will manage to kill her early on in this round. That gives them the man advantage as well. A great shot from Revolution. They look to secure this pistol. It doesn't matter how many they've won leading up to this. What matters is how they pull through on the map, and this will be a good start to their second half if they're able to convert. A lot of these players are low though, so don't count the rest out quite yet. As Dogita doubles up, the Dizzy will blind both of them. They have so much time to work this retake, and Dogita is looking to shut it down single-handedly. It's just Shayrai holding the defuse to half. She just has to land this kill, but it's Shmevy buckets to pull through for their team, and they're trying to make another comeback come to fruition.
Shmevy bucket. Okay, I just want to do that cringe thing real quick. That is their first pistol win of the series. The very last pistol in the series is claimed by them, and that was looking so close, but I mean, Shayrai, just constant underperformance for the team that I believe they are subbing in as well is definitely hurting them quite a bit, was part of the reasons why they weren't able to secure Lotus very well, but we need to see some sort of step up from them, maybe find some confidence. Of course, they are on the Sentinel, so it's not really their job, but definitely want to see it come through as we're going to see some early aggression.
Yeah, Ellie trying to invest the Sheriff into this round to get something going, but it's going to be quickly taken out by that SMG, and Revolution is quick to trade it back as well. It's once again a man advantage for pajis as they set their sights towards A and look to crunch down on it. They don't want the curse to come through here, so they're going to close out the round in a very dominant fashion.
I mean, they saw Army throw these pistols almost back to back in the last two maps, and they said absolutely not happening. They tie up this game again, and we are here in a very, very interesting contest. We have not seen this before, where both of these teams are playing just both kind of just like showing each aggression very far into each other, and it's tied. Something we're not really used to halfway into the game, because it's been kind of all RME, and then Pajis went off last map, but now that we see a tied game, it's definitely a whole new lane. Both these teams aren't really sweating as much, so these mid rounds are going to be so much more important for both these teams to not make mistakes, and whoever can capitalize. Oh no.
Yeah, definitely. Revolution caught out in that tripwire, so will be isolated and killed as Pajis are trying to convert a bonus here, but it's not a great start. They're going to try and break through the backside of this B site, and it's well held at first, but Mr. Sky manages to get a double. A lot of economy damage could be found here, and that could find itself to be valuable if at least not the round is secured. Ellie still alive, starting to lurk her way towards B main, and could be ahead of this play, but she's got a tripwire in her face that will stall it out a little bit and at least give away her play into this round. But no, she just plays it passive and manages to take out Mr. Sky. The plant doesn't even go down either. A bit of a fumble here from Pajis.
Yeah, I definitely would like to see that plant go. Like it still will, because it does look like Army are just going to block the rotate, which is a bit special. But they will actually get the money from this as well if Guru, please just plant, please.
Yeah, I do not
they're
like
losing
that
so much off this.
They're way closer than they are, and he's just gonna. I mean, he does manage to get the dink. It brings another player low, but that timer is ticking down, and now he's gonna be isolated. It seems Dogita is gonna so close to the spam, but doesn't pull the trigger, pushing through the smoke and caught on the reload. Cool Guru will go down and won't be able to find any more damage onto RME. They keep 3 alive.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, these mid rounds are gonna hurt you if you make these mistakes. And I mean, at the end of the day, Guru was able to find some more damage onto Army. They're able to find the plant, but definitely could have seen a lot better performance there. Either way, it's 8-7. It's anyone's game. The gun advantage is in Pajis' favor. They have their one off the Thrash as well for Shmevy. if they can find an orb here on A and able to find Ellie early, this round could definitely look so far in their favor.
Yeah, definitely. Ellie wants to try and get aggressive here off the back of the paranoia, but it misses Rivolution. He's able to collect this kill. And so the main spearhead for RME has been dulled. All of a sudden, RME find themselves on the back foot over here on the A site, and Rivolution wants to expose that weakness. But out of nowhere, Dogita and Pugs just step up. They get 3 kills in total, and they even manage to take out Sing Zoom as well. Everything falls to Mr. Sky in the 1v4. Has the neural theft and a decent bit of space to work with here, but has to clear out Pugs. And as that fault line comes through, it's not going to be anything worth talking about. It's RME right back in this.
All advantages were in this Podgy's favor, but I mean, it just kind of went away once again. I mean, Army just collapsed on them, and they just fell one by one, and it was just pretty easy overall for Army to actually win that round. It forces Podgy's into a bad position now, where their money is not in the best spot. It doesn't look like they want to buy for next. They're kind of forcing a bit too much money, I do think. I think they're going to lose quite a bit of ability economy into the next round, but they're confident. We'll see what they decide to do, as they want to keep fighting Ellie head on, where they know that's exactly where she'll be, and they also have to remember how strong she is in this map and in these games as well, so they need to just keep that in the back of their mind as they want to progress throughout this round.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna have to be a Herculean effort, it feels like, from one of these players on Podgy's to try and pull through on this round to avoid double digits, and Zerfi is going to quickly snuff out Cool Guru. Pugs is there to double up alongside of her teammate, and RME look to be right back into this series as Ellie beheads Rivolution. The difference in weaponry is just too much in this round, and it looks to be a flawless from RME.
I don't know, it means Sing Zoom is one of the best Sheriff players in this game, and we'll find 5 headshots right now. Ellie's going to go down first, and then it's going to be Pugs, and then it's going to be Dogita, then it's going to be Shayrai, and then Zerfi too. Why not? 30 seconds, you've never seen the clutch here. Anyway, besides my stupid banter, I do want to talk about here is Podgy's have been dry swinging quite a bit and not using as much. Oh, we'll find Ellie. The prophecy.
Spike is all the way in mid though, so no time to win this round. Only 1 kill afforded to Sing Zoom in the clutch, but go ahead and continue your point.
Let's reset. Deep breaths and all that.
So Podgy's have been dry swinging quite a bit, but on the other side, when you see RME attacking, you see a lot of utility thrown for your teammates. You see a lot of swinging together, but it does feel like some of these early rounds, from what Podgy's like to do, they just want to play one player, goes for these hero plays, and it kind of keeps blowing up in their faces. That's why Army does have these advantages heading into all these rounds, because all the utility is used for Army. They're able to help their carries do quite a bit, and I want to see more of that from Podgy's as they do throw out the Thrash this time to clear Ellie out.
Yeah, they don't want Ellie to have the same freedom that she's had so far in this match, but she's just going to fall back. She's going to play a more passive angle here. No problem with that, it seems, from the star player of RME. Excuse me, from the player of RME, Aurora. She's just going to peek over top of these boxes. Can't quite find the spam. Dogita is there, though, to support, and everybody actually goes down. It's a huge exchange of kills, but it's gonna end up being Podgy's who come out on top of it. Now it falls onto the shoulders of Rivolution, who can get 1 for 1. It comes down to this 1v1, but Sing Zoom stands strong for it, and it's right back for Podgy's.
I mean, again, like I mentioned before, dry swing galore. It went in the favor of Podgy's this time. Like I mentioned before, you saw the late Rolling Thunder, which was unfortunate for Sing Zoom, but Rivolution able to find the double kill trade, and then also a little tidbit there as well, throws down the smokes on the Sing Zoom, so when they got hit by the Thrash, Army actually couldn't see where they were going to shoot, so they didn't actually spam them through, so Sing Zoom actually stays alive, and eventually when it's a 1v1 with Shayrai, able to find the kill. Of course, you saw the neural theft get used too, so that's a bit sad of utility used for Army, but either way, Podgies are back into this. Their guns maybe still crap, but they're still into this game.
They've got a few rifles, and they've got the Blade Storm available to Revolution as well. If they can start to find a foothold inside of Alley here, they can once again expose this A site that has been weaker from RME so far. All of a sudden, it falls a lot on to these defenders who have bought enough time for the rotate to happen, but that means that the rotate from the attackers is just going to go towards B. This is great conditioning from Pajis.
I think this is the first time we've seen Podgies do this in this series. At least it's been very low amount where they would go attack a site and then they would rotate off of the knowledge, especially with the player advantage.
Mr. Sky sticks around for the lurk as well. Will he be cleared inside of mid? The due diligence of Army could fail them as they don't check the angle. They're not ready for Mr. Blue Sky. And all of a sudden, it's only Dog Eater and Cheirai to try and pull off this retake. Yes, I did have to. Cool Guru takes out Dog Eater. And all of a sudden, Cheirai is left helpless in this 1v5. Can't even hold on to the gun. It's Mr. Sky to shine a light on Pajis.
I know we just had like a really impressive round there from Pajis, but I do like how that was still in your mind of you had the same Mr.
I had
Blue
to get it out. I had to get it out, man.
But yeah, like
if
you mentioned,
spite isn't my strongest emotion, you're wrong.
oh, I know it is. So is you not saying uwu on cast, even though every single thing before we cast, you're like, I'm going to say uwu on stream, and then never does.
No. I don't say that. I say that I don't have a problem with doing it, but there has to be a reason, you know? Like, over at Honeydew, you know, I had a couple of bets with players. Maybe I'll establish some, you know, if some players want to actually talk to me because I guess they hate me here. No, like I like doing bets with players, so I'll do something like that, you know. And, well, maybe if Ellie breaks 100 kills, that'll warrant it, but it's only gonna be able to get one here. I'm not sure where she sits at for the whole series, but Mr. Sky needs to get another kill here. It could still happen. Don't you ever doubt Ellie.
She needs 19 kills.
Okay, and overtime.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I mean, if any game was going to go OT, it might as well be this one. As Dog Eater might have a huge timing here to actually find these picks.
It could. I mean, this has been back and forth, and Mr. Sky and Revolution will crack open this A site to tie up the score once more, unless Pugs can pull off a 1v3. It's gonna be a difficult task for her for sure, but we've seen some beautiful moments out of this player before. Can she bring it through in this moment here and now? She has to bypass Sing Zoom first, who's actually just gonna play passive and wait for the contact of their team. As time whittles down, it's less and less likely, and that will warrant Pugs running away. It's gonna be 10-10.
We are all tied up, and I mean, this series has been just... I mean, you're literally getting anything, really. You're getting the absolute stomp on map 1 on Ascent, which was Pajis' map, by the way. And then on map 2, it looked so good for RME. They were dominating, they were looking so nice, but then the curse began, and they just got pummeled afterwards from Pajis. And then even in this map, we saw Pajis run away with it early in this map. They got cursed once again. But Army brought it back, and now we're seeing Pajis step on the trigger once again in the second half, something we've seen them do time and time again. And now Echo has to install some confidence in this RME team. It worked out so well at the start of this map. Can it work again? We need to see what plays they cook up. We need to see some confidence, as it does look like they are pinging towards A, and that is going to be what we're going to be seeing our sights on in this next couple minutes.
I feel like by the end of this series, we're gonna be hearing Giga. Like, Giga's gonna join the voice chat and be like, "All right, guys, you need to stop cursing my team. I'm cutting your pay." You know, like it's it's been rough for Army this week. What are you talking about? Static is talking about Cheetos. What? Oh, our pay is, we're getting paid in Cheetos. Are they Cheeto Puffs or regular Cheetos?
I get paid in Lay's chips.
Okay, you get half a chip. I get half a Cheeto Puff.
Can I get paid in Doritos?
Doritos are a bit expensive these days. Yeah. So yeah, you're at half a Dorito right now, just because Doritos are just so expensive.
there.
I have a
Half or a quarter?
massive bag of Doritos in the other room that we got from Costco. Oh
Oh,
no,
sure.
Eli is in certainly a pickle here. As you're
no
forced to
spam.
fall back and does manage to get out alive. Bit of a luck on their side is really working for that Dorito pay. So they're gonna even get another kill here. Rai has been raised from 1 Dorito to 2 in this round. If it's RME able to secure it off the back of something that should never have come from their Sentinel, they do still have to make it up with lesser weaponry though. Trying to find some kind of foothold in here, but Guru is there to shut it down alongside of Sing Zoom. Rivolution chimes in as well, and it is too clean from Pajis. They secure the lead.
From bottom
Yeah,
now
go
the
ahead.
frag. Rivolution has woken up on this jet.
Yeah, I really wanted to work in the chip payroll into that round, and it was
Oh yeah, we saw.
a bit
Yeah.
wonky.
Yeah, I mean, Shirai, getting some more. Yeah.
How many Doritos do you think they get paid?
That's a great question.
We'll have to ask
Well,
them.
if I'm getting paid
When are we
for-
getting? When are we getting post game interviews? We asked you last week, I think. Did I ever message?
2 weeks ago. No, you
Did
didn't.
I think I did.
Oh wait, yeah, we talked about it, and then
we
nothing
talked about it
happened.
on NBC. Yeah. Hashtag blame Giga. No, I'm kidding. Giga's great.
The hashtag blame Alberia. He gets paid.
Yeah, you're
he
right.
gets paid more Cheetos than anyone else. He just underlies how much Cheetos he gets per week. Just absolute inflation about how much Cheetos this guy gets.
Oh man. Weirdest
Anyway.
thing is I don't even like Cheetos Puffs that much. I'm gonna be honest. It feels like I'm eating styrofoam. Okay, that's the point. Ecstatic.
I want to see
Yeah,
what
no, for a
Project
series
Vegas
this- I keep cutting you off. I'm sorry, Rhodes. I'll let you land.
Podgy's fight mid now. We'll see what happens.
Pajis big fight. You would really think for a series this close and this intense we'd stop waffling, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Waffle House. We're now getting into the latter portions of this series as it's RME who have been on a bit of a loss streak here in the latter portions, but Pug stands up for a double, tries to get a third, but has at least secured an even man count for her team. And as the paranoia comes through as well, the rest of them will slip into the side, but Cool Guru with amazing shots to pull their team through. It's all up to Chire and can't find anything. It's Cool Guru to pull through to match point.
The Guru Nation is in town, and that is some good shots. Of course, that teleport, from the shadows used, they're actually able to get on site beforehand. So since everyone went through Link on the side of RME, they didn't know that anyone crossed yet, so they weren't paying attention, and they did not find anything else as Guru. Beautiful shots overall. But here we go. This is do or die now for RME Aurora. If they lose, they are no longer an undefeated team like Podgies will be. But they have 4 ultimates to use. That Rolling Thunder and Thrash need to be used for their help in this round. Ellie is nowhere close to that showstopper thus far either. So we need to see what this team can do. We need to see some teamwork. Because Podgies are throwing the chaos at them. And they are not working out well for RME.
Yeah, definitely. Army have to make some kind of final stand here, or else all of Ellie's efforts, her record-breaking series will be for nothing. And they're gonna try and break through this A site before that plant can even go down. They commit a Rolling Thunder and a Thrash, but still lose 2 players, and their Cypher even takes a little bit of damage as well. They're all trying to break out of these smokes, but the bodies are falling. It's all up to Cherai, who can't do it. Cool Guru, the one to give them light in the 12th round, is the one to pull them over the line. It is 13-10, an amazing comeback from Podgy to keep their flawless streak going in Mountain Mayhem.
As much shit as we said to this Pajis team in the 12th hour, they were able to pull it out. Huge paranoia from Cool Guru to nullify that Thrash and Rolling Thunder, which meant Zerfi couldn't push on the site, and Guru was just able to find the last pick, and of course you can't not mention Shmevi Buckets, the GOAT, able to find the double kill. Pajis go 3-0 in week 3, and they are undefeated heading to week 4.
Unbelievable resilience from Pajis. That was an insane series and one that's definitely gonna haunt RME Aurora. As for us, that'll be it for tonight. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure to tune in tomorrow because we'll be right back for even more action.
Adios.